Okay, this is Yasmin. She's going to talk to you about Minecraft and using it to learn code.
So, hello everyone, I'm Yasmin. I'm 14 years old and I started my GCSEs kind of about a week ago, and I've noticed that I go to an all-girls school and the uptake of computer science is really low. Like, my GCSE class is 6 people, including myself. So I've started to run a Raspberry Pi club and in future a microbit club for the 7s, 8s and 9s, just to get them interested. So when they choose their GCSEs, they will have a higher chance of choosing computer science. And when I was looking for something to do in this club, our school hasn't exactly got a lot of resources because being a grammar school and Michael Gove has decided to lower the budgets, and so I found Minecraft. And I'm just going to quickly go over what Minecraft is in case any of you don't know what it is. I mean, most people do know now, but Minecraft is a game. Minecraft is, you start in a world that is made entirely of blocks. There's nothing circular, everything is square. And you have to build using the blocks up there. Obviously there are lots more, there's hundreds of blocks. And your goal is to survive the night, because monsters up here, they want to come and get you and kill you. And in Minecraft there's 2 kind of sides to it, because there's 2 game modes. You've either got survival, where you have to gather all of the materials yourself, which is on your left. And then creative, you get all the materials yourself and you can just build whatever you want, but you can still have the mobs turned on, and in creative you get unlimited of everything, whereas in survival you have to mine yourself, you have to chop down wood, you have to shovel sand out of the ground. The amazing thing about Minecraft is there is no aim. It's one of those games where you can kind of just do whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. And yeah, so there is no aim apart from survive the night, because if you get killed then you can still respawn, it's just you lose all of your materials and you have to start from the beginning. And with Minecraft, if you want to build something like the castle on the screen, you do not need any artistic ability. Like myself, I can't even draw a person. Yeah, I can recreate Hogwarts in Minecraft with Python code on the Raspberry Pi. And Minecraft develops creativity. That's a really simple statement, but it is really, really true. It kind of gives you visual perspective of where things go, especially when you're doing it with Python, because you have to kind of visualise where all the blocks are going to go, and visualise the position of the new player, and it just develops imagination and creativity in your head of what you're going to build, because you've got unlimited blocks in the Minecraft Pi edition, but you just kind of have to decide what you want to do with it. And there are many different platforms. That's not all of the platforms, but you can get it on Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation. There's even an app for the iPhone, Android, iOS, iPad, Amazon App Store. And the original Minecraft started out on the PC, and that is still the main platform, as it has over 100 million registered users, so it's quite a big thing in the gaming community. But there is probably the most important platform, which is Minecraft on the Raspberry Pi, and I will tell you why it's the most important, because Minecraft on the Raspberry Pi is free. If you got it on a computer, it would cost you about £20 for an account. If you got it on a gaming platform like the PlayStation or the Xbox, it would still be around £15. But Minecraft on the Raspberry Pi comes free on the Raspberry image, and it is pre-installed at the minute. If you haven't got it, then you need to do the update from like February, because that's when it got put on there. And like I just said, it's really popular. It's got around 100 million registered users across the computer platform, as well as 20 million on the Xbox platforms, etc. And it has an application programming interface, which is an API. So you can hack Minecraft using Python code. I believe there's a workshop later on Java code as well. And Minecraft, it appeals to both genders, because you can build whatever you want. So girls, not trying to play gender roles here, but girls could build castles or something. Boys could build whatever they want, and there's no kind of gender stereotyping there. And like I said earlier, there's creative mode, so you can be creative and do what you want, and Minecraft on the Raspberry Pi at the minute does not have mobs, so you don't really have to walk around in the fear that you're going to be blown up by a creeper. You can interface it with hardware as well as software, because on the API you can access multiple libraries on Python, such as the GPIO library, the random library, and minimal programming knowledge is needed. So you don't need to be an expert in Python, you don't need to be an expert in Java, or any other programming language in order to create something awesome in Minecraft Pi. And there's 4 kind of API applications for Minecraft Pi. So the character, should have mentioned this earlier, but the character is called Steve. It's not confirmed whether his name is Steve, everybody just calls him Steve. So what you can do with Python or any other programming language that supports the Minecraft API is you can read his location in the world to get an XYZ coordinate, and you can change his location. So you can teleport him, you can make him move faster, you can make lava appear everywhere he walks, and you can see what block is underneath him. So you can see if it's dirt, lava, water, air, and it will tell you in Python code. And then you can also change the block underneath it, or you can change any of the blocks anywhere in the world, which is why you can build pretty much whatever you want just using Python code. And the API is really simple to do this. It's kind of like Sonic Pi in the sense that it's child-friendly applications. And like I said, the main kind of place that people program with is Python. Although, like I've said, you can program in any other language, the Python API is probably the easiest. For example, if you wanted to set a block, it would just be Minecraft.setBlock, or if you wanted to get the player position, it would be Minecraft.getPos, and it would come up in an XYZ coordinate. And like I said, you can interface it with hardware. If any of you don't know here, that is a breadboard, and it's kind of used for electronics, such as the LEDs here. And as you can access multiple libraries in Python with Minecraft on the Raspberry Pi, it's really, really simple. So something that I've done is when you walk on a certain type of block, it will light a certain colour LED on the breadboard. And whilst that's probably the simplest project you can get, you can just build on that constantly, and that's why it is really good for education or just getting kids into code, because you don't want to start with something really easy and then move into something really, really complex. It's just building up the difficulty until kids feel that they can manage the harder difficulty. You can also interface with the Pi camera as well. So you could do it where they walk into, I've seen on the Raspberry Pi website, there's a project where Steve can walk into a photo booth, and it will take the picture of the user who's controlling Steve with the actual kind of tiny little camera module. And something that's really interesting, if you don't know what this is the Raspberry Pi Sense app. And the Raspberry Pi Foundation ran a competition called AstroPi, which is where people got this little board and they program things to go on the International Space Station. And one of the winners was someone who wanted to interface with Minecraft. So it was a little girl called Hannah, and she wanted to read, because the hat here has a lot of sensors: temperature, barometric pressure, gyroscope, accelerometer, etc. And she wanted to read the data from the real life world and incorporate it into the Minecraft world. And I just thought that was really interesting, how you can combine virtual worlds and real life worlds and just kind of put them together. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples here. And this is possibly the simplest piece of Minecraft code you can get. You have 3 lines of code and you've got something that works. So you have to import the library, and this is how the API is really simple. But I'm going to show you how you can make it a little bit harder and how you can show kids programming concepts. So for example, what I've done here is I've just added a for loop. So instead of here, it would post hello world to the chat, just in the chat box and in the Minecraft world. But see, with this for loop here, you've imported another library, you've imported the time library, and whilst you've done all the setup, you've put the for loop in here. So what you've actually done is you've created a loop saying hello world 5 times here, and just having a break in between them. And another example, that's the same as that. So what you can do with teleportation is, like I said, the API is really simple, so it's just player.getPos. and you can get an XYZ coordinate, and like I said earlier, you can change that coordinate in order to change Steve's position in the world. So say if you change this Y coordinate and you just added 10, he would move 10 spaces forward. Or if you change the Z, he could move 10 spaces up, or the X 10 spaces to the side, etc. So here are some really, really useful websites. Stuffaboutcode.com is run by Martin O'Hanlon, and he wrote a book about Minecraft, which is Adventures in Minecraft, if anyone's read it, and he's done some really cool projects as well, and he posts all of his projects up there. And then uktechreviews.co.uk, this is Spencer Organ, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, but he runs a really, really cool blog about Raspberry Pi, technology, photography, and he's a teacher as well, so he posts what he's been doing in his classroom and just projects on his website as well you can follow. And then scarabcoder.com, this is a 13-year-old boy called Nicholas Harris who lives in California in the States. And he's written a book as well, but he wrote that book because he wanted to share what he's done. He runs a Minecraft and Raspberry Pi podcast and blogs as well. And we have the Raspberry Pi website as well. And the Raspberry Pi website, you can learn Python, and it's got a really child-friendly tutorial. I've used this, I didn't mention earlier, but I've actually been teaching Year 7s and Year 9s on the Raspberry Pi as well. And the Raspberry Pi website, I kind of use that tutorial to teach them the very basics of the API, and then I kind of just got the 12-year-olds to create what they wanted in pairs and had kind of a building competition, so that's really good for education. And the Raspberry Pi website, it's got lots of projects on there, not just Minecraft related, hardware related, software related, anything like that. What else? Has anyone got any questions? I think so, sure.
Any questions?
At the back.
What school did you say you're from?
I go to Southend High School for Girls.
Is that local?
No, it's in Essex.
Southend. It's really cool what you're doing.
Thanks. Has anyone else got any questions?
I've got a comment.
Okay.
I think considering your age and all people, I think you've done really well, because I did some presentations at college this week and you spoke extremely clearly.
Thanks.
So I think you've done really well.
Is that everything?